So our lesson is talking about rational exponents and radicals. In the previous lesson, on the previous lessons, we talked about the rational exponents. The rational exponents, like when you have an x raised to the power 3 over 2. This is, we call it rational exponents. It's an exponent with a rational. Now, today we are talking about the radical exponents, and we are talking about how can we convert the rational into radical or from radical to rational. So now we have to rewrite the expressions involving radicals and rational exponents. Now, the rational exponents, we can use it to represent a radical. But before we start, what is the radical expression? As you see here, this sign is, we name it as a radical or a radical sign. Now, in this crook here, we have a number like number 3 as an example. This number, we called it an index. It's on the crook of the radical sign. And the number that is inside Hi Jude. You let me lift the screen to say who sent hi. Okay, yeah. So the numbers now that's written here as an example 27. This number, we called it a radicand. So this is a radical sign. Inside the radical sign, we have a radicand, and in the crook of the radical sign, we have a number which its name is index. If I told you now, if you have now like square root or cubic root of 27. Here, what is the radicand? It's a 27. What is the index? It is a 3. Now, if I told you now, if you have like this, what is the radicand? It is 16. Now, the new things I want you to know it, that if there's no number written here there's no number. This one, that means that the index is equal to 2. Every time, if you see this one, here it means that the index here, it will be 2. But it's by default, it is 2. I mean, if you see that there's no number in the square root, it means that by default, it is 2. But if you see 3, here it is the cubic root of number. Or, so we can say also that the index equal to 3. Now,
Teacher, I didn't understand this one of 3. If the index was cube, it will be 3, or default automatically it will be 2.
Teacher, I have a question after her.
Here, if you see it like this and like this as an example, can you read the first number?
The first number is 25. Square root of 25.
What did you say? Square root.
Yes.
Yes, that means that the index here is 2, square root. So I say by default it is 2, without writing it. But if I see number 3, I will not read it as the square root. I will say the cubic root of 25.
Okay.
That's what I mean. Now,
Teacher, I have a question.
yes.
If inside the root there is nothing. No number. What we will write?
Like this. Girls, who
Yeah.
minimize the screen and
Teacher.
use the WhatsApp.
No, teacher. If the 25 is not inside and the 3 it's outside the root, what we will put inside the root?
Here, it's not true. You have to put number inside the root.
If there is no number, what we will put number?
It will not acceptable.
Oh,
Can
okay.
you add the square with number 3 as an example? No. Here also cannot be, and here also it cannot be.
Miss,
Thank you,
when we
teacher.
say the square root of 64, we know that it's 8 because which number that will be to the power of 2, which will give me 64 like this.
Yes, until now, yes, that's we know before that if we all of us know that as an example, square root of 64, you know that is 8. And also, we said before that if I told you 64 raised to the power half, what is the number that if I raised to 2, oh, this number that's raised to 2, the answer is 64.
8.
It is 8. And since that this 8 is the same as this 8, so I can say that this one is the same as this one.
Okay.
So I can say that the square root of 64 is equal to 64 to the power half. This is the idea of our lesson. Don't tell me how. Wait a minute. After a few minutes, I will tell you what is the rule. So from here, just now as an introduction, how can we say that square root of 64 is the same as 64 raised to the power half? That was our lesson, the rational exponents and the radical one, which is this one. Now, before that, let's remember how can we find the square root of any number. Cubic root of 125. What is that?
Teacher,
mean?
which page?
Wait.
148. 449.
Now, here, what is the number? What is the index? It's a 3. So, I want you now to give me 3 numbers that they are the same, and if you multiply it, you get 125. Who can tell me?
5.
Me. Me, teacher.
5.
5. So, if you try 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5, it is 125. It's a true. So now, by now, we notice that if we repeat 5 3 times with the cubic root, so I can say now that the cubic root of 125 is 5. Now, the fourth root of 16. That's mean I want, if I say number 4, that's mean I need how many numbers now?
4.
4 now. 4. Give me 4 numbers that if you multiply them, you get 16.
2.
Now let's see. Yes, thank you. Now let's see how can I solve it. Sometimes in my mind, I say that I know that 16 is 4 times 4. Is it right?
Yes. Yes.
And 4, it is 2 times 2. So how many 2 did I have here? 4 2's. So I can say that if I multiply 2 4 times, I will get 16. So the answer now is 2. Let's do B. The fifth root of 32. I mean that since I have number 5, so I need now 5 numbers that if you multiply them, you get 32. Now,
Teacher, there is no number we can multiply it with 5, give us 32.
who said? Dan.
Teacher, I know the answer.
Dina.
Yeah, teacher, there is no.
Mala. Who says?
Can I, teacher, can I?
Yes, I didn't ask you to divide 32 in 5.
Teacher, there is no number we can multiply it with 5, give us
Not multiply. I want to multiply the number. You have to repeat the numbers like 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. You have to repeat it 5 times.
Teacher, I want.
Not multiply by 5. Wait, girls, wait. Okay. Before that, I want you to memorize this one. These things I want you to know it to help you later on. 2. This power 1 is 2. 2 raised to 2 is 4. 2 raised to 3 is 8. 2 raised to 4 is 16. 2 raised to 5 is 32.
Yes,
2
teacher.
raised to 6. How I know it? Just multiply. Look here. Did you remember in the first period when I told you 2 multiplied by 2 you get 4? Okay, please mute the microphone. Then 4 multiplied by 2, what you will get? 8. 8 multiplied by 2, 16. 16 multiplied by 2,
32.
32. 32 multiplied by 2, 64. So 2 to the power 6 is what? 64. 2 to the power 7, just multiply. 64 multiplied by 2.
128.
Exactly.
128.
So from here, what did you notice that? What are the numbers? What is the number that is raised to 5? You get 32.
2. 2.
It's 2. Thank you.
2. Teacher, I said 2 in the first time when you ask.
Yes, Farah, thank you. But I want to show them, to show to your classmate how it will be 2. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So the answer is what now? 2. Now, let's talk now. How can we say that the rational has a relationship with the with the radicals? If you have a raised to the power 1 over n, I can say, now, what is the number that's written in the denominator? That's written down. It is n.
N.
So I will write n on here. It is written n. I will write it now on the radical sign. And here you have a. If you have a as an example, but now m over n. Look at me. How can now? This is an exponents. Radical exponent, rational exponents. I want now to write it as a radical. Look at me here now. A, just put it under the square root. or under the root. Then I told you that the number that's written down, which is n, write it up. And the number that is written down up, write it down. Lee, how can I write it now? Is the opposite. N.
Teacher, it's M or N?
Up. Here is M. N. Here you have to do the opposite. N is up, M is down. Let's have an example. 3, X. Let's rewrite with another color. X to the power 4 over 5. How can we write it? The first step, put this one with X, the variable with the root. Then, the numbers that is written down, put it up. And the number that is written up, put it down. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes.
teacher.
Yes.
Yes, teacher, thank you.
Now, you are welcome. Now let's now try to have an examples. Here now in this problem, we learn how can we convert to radical form. Here now, what did we have? Excuse me. So now, converting to a radical function. Now, (64) a raised to the power 4 over 5. As we said before, you have a product of number with a variable. So let's now try to distribute 64. Put it as 4 over 5. Oh, can say before the steps, that's easier for me. Before that, I want now to ask myself, because the problem here with now with me is not with the variable a. The variable a, it's very easy. The problem here is how to find a cubic root or fourth root or fifth root of number 64. So I will ask myself, what is the number? Now, what is the number that's written here? It is 5. So I will ask myself now, what is the number? That's, I repeat it 5 times, I get 64. I know that and 2 to the power 5 is 32. But if you looked at 3, you don't have. If you look at 4, also you cannot have. So what I can say? I can say that if you look here, is 64 is the same as 2 multiplied by 32?
Yes, teacher, but here is
Yes.
they are telling us 2 to the power of 6 to the 5.
Yes. But wait, I will repeat. Look here. What do we have? We have 4 over 5. So what is the number that's written in the denominator? It is 5. So I will ask myself, what is the number? That's, I repeat it 5 times. I will get 64. Actually, there's no. But I know that if 32 multiplied by 2, I can get 64. So let's now rewrite instead of 64 as a 32 multiplied by 2. A raised to the power 4 over 5. I just now call a number that this number, it have a fifth root, which are 32. Then after that, I will distribute.
I don't understand this step.
Wait, girls. But wait, more examples you will understand. But step by step. Stay with me. Here we have now 32 multiplied by 2a. Why I look or I call 32? Because for 32, it can have a fifth root. But 64 cannot. So I will ask myself to find a number that has a fifth root, which is 32. I can refactorize it to be as 32 multiplied by 2. Then after that, let's now distribute it 4 over 5 on the product of these two numbers. I can write it as 32 and 2a. Then I will raise now 32 with the power 4 over 5, and I will raise now 2a to the power 4 over 5. Then, is there any problem with the variable? No, because this one, what does it mean? It is mean 2a and 4 over 5. It's mean I have to write it as a radical. Now, the number which is written down, which is 5, I can write it up. And the number which is written up, I can write it down. So by that, what I get? I get the fifth root of 4 or 2 to the power 4 is what? Is 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2, which is 16. So it is 16a to the power 4. This is now the answer of this term. Now what about 32 to the power 4 over 5? I want to find it now. 32 to the
Teacher,
power 4 over, yes?
the period it's finished, right?
No, it is at 11:15. 11:15.
Oh, okay.
After 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
then we will go to the second term here, which it was 32 square root. What happened? 32. Then the numbers, which is what here? 5. I write it on and 4 down. Then
Teacher, there's no sound.
Why?
Okay, now it appears.
Teacher, I can't hear anything.
Me too.
Okay, before this step, I want you now, because I want to find a way to tell you how can you find the answer. Just as I look about another way. Before that, did we said before that 32 is 2 to the power what?
6.
6 or 5?
Oh, 5, not 64.
5.
Sorry.
So because of that, I put now this 32, I can write as 2 to the power 5, and then I will multiply it by 4 over 5, which is our exponent. Then 5 cancel 5, so what we will have now? 2 raised
4.
to the power 4, which is 16. And this is my answer. Is it hard? Is it right?
Yes, little bit. And it's
Teacher,
hard.
so 1 to, so what is to the power 4 2 to 5?
Can you repeat?
What is the 2 4 with 5?
Repeat your
Means
question, please.
Teacher, what is here teacher wrote up 2
Yeah.
to the power 4 with 5?
Okay. Now keep it as it is.
So the answer is 16. Ah,
teacher means when we have this number, a square root to the power of a number raised to an exponent. I want to change it to a square root. If this doesn't have any square root, so I will divide it, distribute it, يعني, make like 32 multiplied to 8.
You mean about the question? Hello. Okay. See. Wait, please. Shall I?
Now just teacher, I'm understanding the steps.
Okay. Okay. I want to best to see if I repeat the question.
teacher,
Shall I
I
repeat
don't
the question
understand
or
it.
solve another one?
No, teacher, just can you go a little bit back to the question?
Teacher, your voice is not clear.
Yeah.
Can you speak slowly? What did you say?
Teacher, your voice is not clear.
What?
Your voice is not clear.
My voice?
Teacher, she is saying your voice is not clear.
How did you see it, Farah? Is it clear?
Yes,
Now
it
it's
is
clear.
clear, but Sarah is saying that your
Teacher, now
voice is
it's
not
clear.
clear. No,
It
it's
isn't
clear.
clear.
What's the time now?
11:17.
11:17.
Okay. So inshallah on Sunday we will continue. I will repeat it properly for you, and you will continue the lesson.
So teacher, just what is the final answer of B?
Okay, teacher. Thank you so much.
This is the final. You are welcome. There's
What is the
no
Thank you,
homework today.
teacher.
Okay. There's no
Hi,
homework.
teacher. Thank you for everything.
okay? Teacher,
Have
just
a
what is
nice
the final
weekend.
answer of it?
Bye, teacher.
This is the final answer.
Bye, teacher.
What is the final answer, teacher?
Bye,
Yes.
teacher. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Have a nice weekend.
Thank you. You
Teacher,
too.
thank you so much. Have a nice
Bye,
weekend.
Have a nice
Bye.
week.
Bye, teacher. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye, teacher.
Bye bye.